Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Some Jobe's Town. The mini T is coming together. Once again, love it when a plan comes together. As you guys saw in the previous vids, I've been thinking about this thing for a minute, even like trying to draw stuff, and I'm not the best artist, but I try. Yeah, it's coming together so good. Out here loving another sunny day. I'm loving how everything fits and is in the correct place now. Everything lines up. And let me just show you guys real quick. I've got, this is just my seat, and that's just a toolbox I have. Because I'm eventually going to have I'm going to raise up that bottom, probably with some padding. And that's just kind of mocking up where I'm going to really be. And this was kind of my biggest deal with building anything for me. As you guys can probably see over here, the CB750, it's built to fit me. So some things wouldn't fit other riders. It's easy to get onto. I wanted to make something that was easy too. I didn't want to be trying to like fit into something. Whoop. Whoop. Bam. I'm big. Big isn't easy. Oh, look at the suspension too. People that were thinking this doesn't have suspension. My frame is not flexing. It's solid. The motor plate's bolted all in tight now. It's so comfy. What's up, y'all? Cruising my hood. What's happening? Let's ride. I'm gonna put a floor right here eventually, so I have somewhere to put my feet. Right now they're just sitting on the frame rails. Got my exhaust coming out right there, so I think it's gonna go down below the frame and they come out. I'll show you guys details on that. Waiting on my steering shaft still. Stuck waiting on parts, cores. Steering shaft and my chain. My chain will come down right now. Chain will come down right here to my jack shaft. Jack shaft will set the chain back to my rear diff. All good. Bah, 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 bah. I can't wait to build some pedals. Bah, 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 bah. I can't wait, guys. Just wanted to kind of give you guys a debrief on what's going here, because I'll forget. More parts will show up and I won't give you guys the details on what we got to get here. So let me show you guys. Yeah. Okay, so you guys saw some of the front axle build there. Everything is all now, everything's still tacked. I still haven't fully welded everything, but everything is measured and square 100%. I wanted to get all that done so I could get my alignment square. And now, let me stand, get out of the, alignment is good now. Alignment is really good. And this is just a mock-up shaft here. This is the, this is my steering wheel and my bearing housing, going down to my frame rail. That's good, but it's not joined up here. That's just a piece of tubing and a and a socket extension. But down here, you guys can see. So, once my steering, it's kind of bound up right now because it's not at the correct angle. Once my shaft gets here, this is going to steer like a champ. And it's because, with this off of here, it shears buttery smooth. Let me just see if I can get this out of here. There we go. And it rolls so nice. So good. That's always one of the big tests. If everything rolls nice and clean, you're usually good to go. Let me just straighten this back up here. rolls perfect. and it's just it's buttery smooth. You just barely push it and it goes. That's awesome. I measured again our wheelbase. We are now 75.5 inches from our kingpin to our rear stay right here on both sides. We have 75.5 inches. So that is our wheelbase is 75.5 inches. And it's perfect. Rear suspension is awesome. It's so good. Once again, let me just show you guys with me sitting on it here real quick. One sec. Oh, it's so comfy. So comfy. It's so good. I'm even kind of surprised too. You know, yes, I've done this before, guys. This is not a hack job. I try not to hack stuff together. I've designed a lot of suspension stuff. I've built a lot of cars, but those you're not really designing stuff. The race cars we did. I built drift cars for a while. Everything was custom on those from the front to the back. Way more steering. As you guys can see, with my 10 degrees, we get lots of steering from this little bitty rack. It's a little bitty steering rack. Oh, my shadow. Little bitty steering rack that, and with the correct angle of attack, and your camber and your caster is what determines all of that. If you guys can see here, the camber is set by welded in kingpins. So my angle here is what determines my camber. My caster is my 10-degree layback, so that I know that I still have 10 degrees at right height. We're good to go there. And I can still adjust stuff. If I want to be able to shorten this rod, I can actually make this rod adjustable and be able to adjust my caster, which is kind of unheard of with the straight axle, but I could do that because the way I set everything up with the lower pivot on the leaf spring, I can adjust this upper. If I shorten it, the whole axle will lean back and adjust my kingpin angle, which will adjust my caster. Or my yeah, my caster, not my camber. My camber is set. That's all good to go. And we have about 1.5 degrees on each side of lean in. So that's all square and good. Yeah. And then down here, these rods here, you know, I had to custom make my, this is just it's actually this is from a kid's, I think a Power Wheels deal that I bought on eBay, the spindle, and I had to change some of that stuff to fit over here with my wheel, but that's all good to go because it had a tiny 1/2-inch spindle, so, or 1/2-inch bearing, so I needed a tiny spindle, so that's all good. And I had to custom make my pivot arm here to be able to fit with my steering rack, and then right here is where I had to extend them. It's about 1.5 inches of extension that I had to come out to be able to extend this rod. These are threaded. These I made these. I threaded a tube and was able to, there's that solid bolt inside there. It won't even hardly adjust here because it is touching. I wanted to make sure that was nice and solid, and I may even weld across there, so it's going to be good. And it's still adjustable, no problem there. So that made that front end work great. We're good to go. Next, let me just get this stuff back together here. See if I can kind of put this back together. There we go. Yeah, okay, so I just, you know, really what I wanted to see was that angle, the angle from my U-joint down here. If my U-joint is at too steep of an angle, it won't work and it'll lock up. But that's not even 45 degrees. That's gonna work good. And up here we have, it's a bearing housing that holds my bearings, lets my steering wheel spin nice and free. That'll be good. And this does have, you guys can see there, it has the spline adapter, so that's a 30 spline. That will be the same as the spline down here. So when I get my shaft, that'll all go in place and be good to go. Looking good, guys. Okay, and this, I wanted to kind of show you guys, give you the details. This is my tie rod extension. Yes, it was almost the exact same size, so I was able to thread the inside, you know, put it in my vise, thread it, trim it off. Luckily, I had a long tap to be able to reach down inside there. I think I put it back in the box. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here it is right here. It was hiding. It's an M10 125, and luckily I was able to get down in the bore. Not block everything here so you guys can see. I was able to get down in the bore and get down in there and thread it out, no problem. That goes back up there to stay safe. Love having all that. Yeah, my tool arrangement, that's a complete mess up here. Always a mess. But I was able to thread the inside of this and get it to work as my tie rod extension, and there's bolt that goes inside there almost the whole way, so the whole inside of that is threaded and it's good to go. And then right here, this, as you guys can see, it's a very nice piece. I think it's an old piece of Honda tubing that I think is going to get trimmed off, because it has this beautiful bend here that's already been kind of warmed up, and it's got this beautiful bend here. Because my turbo manifold was, you know, just some gas pipe, which was working totally fine. But if we're going to make this thing fancy, the turbo might flow a little better too, you know, if we actually get it out there and actually get some goodies flowing to it. So yeah, and then the turbo will get scooted forward and possibly get turned around so that the intake over here is pointing forward, you know, like a supercharger. And because, you know, we are building a car essentially. It's not a motorcycle, so we're gonna maybe have, you know, we're gonna have, you know, a grill shell and some little hood struts and possibly a blower hood that's leading to a turbo. We'll see. So many ideas. And I have a welder and a grinder, so yeah, we can cut and weld, obviously. No problem here. Good old Ironton coming in strong. And I just kind of wanted to show you guys, that is nothing fancy. That is an Ironton flux core MIG welder that has two settings, on and off, and 1 and 2 for the voltage. There's nothing fancy about it. You point and shoot, and it goes brrr, and it welds stuff together. It's basically the exact same as anything you can get from Harbor Freight or Northern Tool Supply or any of the places that sell, you know, cheap tools. That one came from Facebook Marketplace. I bought broken and put a new, it's got a Yes Welder torch on it, so I put a new torch, and I think I put a new ground clamp on it too. Yeah, it's good to go. Oh, the spool was broken inside too. Had to put a new spool holder in it. It's good to go. I made the spool holder. And you got to make parts. Oh well, no big deal. It's just a little piece that holds the spool. It's not a big deal. So slide it in, done. And yeah, over here's big fancy. Yeah, we're burning argon, and it's tricky to get to. And this machine is set up with, it will MIG weld and TIG weld. And currently I have it set up to TIG weld. And TIG welding is great. I love TIG welding. Some of these parts actually will get TIG welded when it's all apart. Right now it's just stuck together. You know, my axle brackets, and up here my leaf spring mounts, those will get TIG welded onto the axle, along with my pivot points up here, and probably the ends of my kingpin mounts, you know, my spindle mounts. Those will get TIG welded on, because I'll take the axle off, take it inside to the bench, weld it up 100%. It'll be good to go. MIG welding is great for some things, not perfect for everything. If I had a better TIG welder or a better MIG welder setup, like if I had this one set up, the MIG gun that's a proper MIG gun that's made to burn in whatever you want to weld. But it needs to be clean and happy, and it soaks up a bunch of my argon. So yeah, and right now I have it set up with pure argon. There's no CO2 in there. If you want to MIG weld, you're best off with a mixed blend, argon CO2. If if you're going to TIG weld, you're best off with straight argon. And right now, that's what it is, straight argon. Makes wonderful, beautiful TIG welds, so we're good to go there. I don't want to have to change everything back and forth. And renting 2 bottles, nah, that's expensive. No thanks. So, the Ironton, getting it done. Obviously, everything we've done so far has been with the Ironton, and I've been on there bouncing around, moving it, and yeah, it's good to go. So, get you a cheap welder, learn how to grind some steel. Cheap grinder, cheap welder, lots of stuff to make it work, because you're going to burn through a bunch of wire. Yep. And my steel, back here, 1 second. My steel, it's from a buddy's yard. It's a welding shop. You don't have to go to a steel supply yard. It's a welding shop. They build and weld stuff every day. They have racks of steel that they are happy to sell to you because a lot of it is cut off pieces that they're never going to use. This bottom piece was a 28-foot stick. They cut off what they used, and this was the piece they weren't going to use. So yeah, I got that for dirt cheap. And I think right now I have probably have about $90 in steel. About 90 bucks. This front tube cost me, because I had to go buy it for real. It's a piece of solid, you know, it's thick wall tubing. It's not solid. So that one cost me a couple dollars, but everything else, you know, was from my buddy's build yard. So we're good. And back here, this might cost a little bit because yeah, I'm just kind of I'm using the camera to kind of visualize. You know, because I'm thinking this needs to have a trailer hitch with a trailer, possibly towing a race bike. But we need a bed. A bed, you know, that we could put some weight in and pull some wheelies. So, if you guys have any ideas for what we should do for a bed, let me know. Now that I can see it all together, I was thinking maybe a little red wagon, but I think it's too wide for a little red wagon. So, you know, because it's even a little bit wider back here. Oh, and the frame is pinched. It's narrower in the front than it is the back. That's a pinch frame, guys. You got to pinch it up a little bit. Pinch that front end. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Pinched her in there good. Dolly Parton to be happy. Oh. I just love looking at this thing. I can't wait to see the body all done. I'm ready to build the body, guys. I need the rest of these parts so we can get it figured out, because I can't do any of this for real until I get the jack shaft. The chain is going to come right here. Jack shaft is going to be down here, wherever it lays out. Chain will come back to my rear end and be good to go. But that's all got to be done before we can, yeah. So like, share, subscribe. Way more to come. When in doubt, figure it out. Let's ride.